Have you ever noticed how, no matter how hard you try, people seem to form judgments about you, often before you even get the chance to explain yourself? It's a frustrating reality, isn't it? But what if I told you that some of these judgments are not based on who you are, but on habits you may not even realize you're displaying? And here's the twist. These habits could be stopping you from forming deeper connections and achieving the success you deserve. Today, we're diving into 7 surprising habits that can make others judge you, and what you can do about them, inspired by Stoic philosophy. Stoicism has been around for centuries, teaching us how to handle adversity, improve our inner character, and navigate the judgments of others with grace and poise. So if you're ready to learn how to avoid these habits and lead a life that's not only true to yourself, but also respected by others, keep watching. Because the insights you're about to gain could change the way you approach life and your relationships forever. Setting the stage, Stoicism, founded by Zeno of Citium in the 3rd century BCE, was a revolutionary way of thinking. Unlike other schools of philosophy that focused on the pursuit of pleasure or avoiding pain, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to let go of what we cannot. And one thing Stoics consistently remind us of is that other people's judgments, however harsh, are completely outside of our control. In fact, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "The opinion of others is not within your control. What they think of you is none of your concern." Yet, the reality is, we all care what others think to some extent. We are human, after all. But here's the catch. Our behaviors, our actions, and even our mindset can either invite judgment or cause others to view us with more respect and admiration. So, while we can't control others' opinions, we can certainly control how we act. And that's where Stoic philosophy comes into play. Habit number 1. Being too defensive. Let's start with the first habit, being too defensive. We've all been there, haven't we? Someone questions our choices, critiques our actions, or offers feedback, and our instinct is to push back immediately. Maybe we interrupt, counter-argue, or even get visibly upset. The problem with this is that people who are constantly defensive are often seen as insecure or unwilling to listen. Instead of seeing someone who is confident in their beliefs, others perceive someone who is fearful, unable to accept constructive criticism, and perhaps even closed-minded. This does more harm than good to how others perceive us, especially in professional or social situations. From a Stoic perspective, it's not the external events, but our reaction to them that causes distress. The Stoics teach us to focus on understanding our own emotions rather than simply reacting to them. This principle applies perfectly to being defensive. Instead of jumping into defense mode, try practicing mindfulness. Take a deep breath, observe the situation, and allow yourself a moment to reflect before reacting. The more you practice this, the more you'll project calm, composure, and confidence. When you do respond, focus on offering your perspective without being combative. This mindset shift will not only help you reduce judgment, but also enhance your credibility and presence in any situation. Habit number 2, constant complaining. Next up, we have the habit of constant complaining. We all have our moments when life gets tough, but when we make a habit out of complaining, it can quickly alienate those around us. Constantly vocalizing frustrations or focusing on what's wrong with our lives can create a negative atmosphere, and others may start to judge us as pessimistic or ungrateful. The Stoics, however, encourage us to embrace challenges and view them as opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the idea of amor fati, which means love of fate, accepting and even loving everything that happens, good or bad, because it contributes to our personal growth. Imagine this. When something goes wrong in your day, Instead of complaining, you can choose to focus on what can be learned from the experience. Whether it's finding a solution or simply realizing that it's an event beyond your control, this shift in mindset allows you to handle challenges with grace. It also prevents you from fostering a negative reputation among others. Try this. When something goes wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? By training your mind to turn complaints into opportunities, you'll not only feel better, but also make a positive impact on the people around you. Habit number 3, seeking validation. Third, let's talk about seeking constant validation. This is a habit that can easily sneak up on us, especially in today's world of social media, where likes and comments can often feel like the ultimate measure of our worth. But the truth is, constantly seeking approval from others is a dangerous habit. It can make you feel like your self-worth is tethered to the opinions of others, leading to insecurity, anxiety, and a fear of rejection. In Stoicism, we learn that external validation is not where our sense of fulfillment lies. Instead, we should look inward and ask ourselves, are we living according to our values? Are we acting with integrity? By focusing on self-validation, you can free yourself from the need for external approval. Rather than seeking others' opinions, focus on your own standards and self-respect. When you make decisions based on your values and not for the sake of pleasing others, you'll find a deeper sense of fulfillment, and others will naturally respect you more. Remember, as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you stop seeking validation and start living true to yourself, the judgments of others will lose their power over you. Habit number 4, neglecting self-care. Now, let's discuss the habit of neglecting self-care. It's easy to get caught up in the demands of work, family, and life, but when we neglect our physical or mental health, we send a message to others that we don't value ourselves. This can lead to judgment from others, who may view us as disorganized, careless, or unmotivated. The Stoics were firm believers in maintaining good health, seeing it as a necessary condition for fulfilling our duties and living a virtuous life. Seneca wrote about the importance of self-discipline, including caring for the body. After all, if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't be of service to others. So, how can you avoid falling into the trap of neglecting self-care? Start with the basics. Eat well, exercise regularly, get enough rest, and take time for relaxation and reflection. These small habits add up over time, not only helping you feel better, but also demonstrating to others that you value yourself. Self-care isn't selfish. It's essential for living a fulfilling life, and by prioritizing your health, you'll show others that you're someone who can be relied upon, someone who understands the importance of balance. Habit number 5, overcommitting to please others. Fifth, overcommitting to please others. This is a common habit, especially for people pleasers. You find it hard to say no to requests or invitations, even when you're stretched too thin. At first, it might feel good to be the person everyone can rely on, but over time, constantly saying yes can make you look disorganized, unreliable, or even resentful. The Stoics remind us that we must prioritize our time and energy based on what's truly important, not based on what others expect from us. We are not meant to serve others at the expense of our own well-being. By learning to say no when it matters, you protect your time and energy, allowing you to focus on your own goals and well-being. Setting boundaries doesn't just prevent judgment, it also cultivates respect from others, as they see you as someone who is clear about their values and priorities. Habit number 6, lack of emotional control. Sixth, lack of emotional control. Emotions are powerful, and they can sometimes overwhelm us in the heat of the moment. Whether it's anger, frustration, or jealousy, Reacting impulsively can make you seem irrational, unstable, or immature to others. But as Stoics, we are taught to master our emotions rather than be controlled by them. Epictetus once said, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." In other words, it's our interpretation of events, not the events themselves, that causes our emotional reactions. By practicing emotional discipline, you can learn to respond thoughtfully instead of impulsively. Whether it's taking a deep breath before reacting, stepping away from the situation, or using rationality to guide your response, you'll begin to notice a shift in how others perceive you. Emotional control makes you seem calm, composed, and wise, qualities that garner respect and reduce judgment. Habit 7. Overthinking and worrying about the future. Finally, overthinking and worrying about the future. This habit can be a silent killer of confidence and peace of mind. Constantly worrying about what might happen next or dwelling on potential outcomes that are beyond your control can make you seem anxious, indecisive, or even paralyzed by fear. The Stoics believed that worrying about things we cannot control is a waste of energy. Focus on what you can influence right now and trust that the future will unfold as it will. Instead of stressing about every possible outcome, practice living in the present moment, embracing uncertainty, and taking small steps toward your goals without the constant burden of fear. When you stop overthinking, you'll not only find peace of mind, but also gain the respect of those around you, as they'll see you as someone who is confident, decisive, and unshaken by external circumstances. To recap, we've explored 7 surprising habits that can make others judge you: being too defensive, constantly complaining, seeking validation, neglecting self-care, overcommitting, lacking emotional control, and overthinking the future. But here's the important lesson. Judgment from others is not inevitable. We may not be able to control how others think of us, but we can control our actions, reactions, and mindset. By applying Stoic principles to these habits, we can overcome them, grow stronger, and live more virtuous lives. In the end, it's not about avoiding judgment completely. It's about becoming the kind of person who remains true to themselves and finds peace within, no matter what others think. And when you do that, judgment becomes less relevant. Thank you for watching. I hope these Stoic insights have given you the tools to become more self-aware, self-disciplined, and respected by others. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Share this with someone who might need it, and remember, the opinions of others are not within your control, but how you respond to them is. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Take care, and until next time.